Bill Kenwright, and an incredible day that he will never forget, and a real show of the fighting spirit that he's actually instilled since he's come in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You could see that the energy and the effort, and sometimes it bubbled over, you know, that we saw some of the early exchanges that resulted in yellow cards, and it was feisty throughout. And I don't think Everton fans have ever doubted the fighting spirit. It just seems a little bit of lack of unity and cohesion on the pitch with regards to tactics and sort of, you know, the interplay between the units. I'm not quite seeing really smooth work that's been transitioned from the training pitch to the playing pitch, but that's for next season. Job done this season.
Did you see that coming at half-time, Tim?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I mean, they were playing so well, Palace. They were in control. Always look a threat on going forward. Defensively, Everton were all over the place. But as a manager, you have to go in there and you have to be very calm. He would have been devastated with that first half performance. He would have gone in there and said, look, guys, we need the crowd on our side. We have to do something to achieve that. We have to take the next goal. We take the next goal, then the momentum will change. The crowd will come with us. We got an extra man then, and then we will work on our set pieces. Exactly what they did. He made the changes at the right time, and they all worked for him tonight.
Yeah. So Everton are safe. The question is, of course, what's left now in terms of the equation for the two teams, and still all to play for now, of course, going into the final Sunday of this current Premier League season. So we're now down to two, aren't we? Looking to join the likes of Watford and Norwich in the Championship next season. Burnley just above the relegation zone, but it's only separated these two sides by goal difference.
Which paints Burnley's season perfectly. The good, solid defensive work that Sean Dyche did, and how hard they were to beat, how few goals they conceded, married up with the more open and attacking play that Mike Jackson's brought, and the reasons why they've got, you know, a couple of wins since he's come in. So those two, that combination is why Burnley have got a chance on the final game.
And in contrast, minus 38, I know Jesse Marsch has to take some responsibility, certainly. Marcelo Bielsa, for the goal difference, when he shipped so many goals early on, could be the difference between them staying or going into the Championship.
How do you see it going between those two?
They are both very tough games. You'd have to give the advantage to Burnley as home advantage. We know it's going to be very difficult. Newcastle was on a good run at the moment. They got to go away to Brentford. It's always difficult when you're playing the last game of the season against a team who are playing at home, who want to send their fans away very, very happy. So then Brentford players have got nothing to lose. They'll play with freedom. They've got quality. For me, I would have to say, if I was favouring anyone, I would go for Burnley to stay in the league and Leeds to get relegated.
Everton fans will be delighted to see their team not on that graphic. They are secure and safe for the next season. Let's have a look at that second half comeback, shall we? 2-0 down then, going into the second period. Michael Keane into the 11, of course. Couple of amazing touches for a centre-half, Rachel. Oh,
it was brilliant, but it's all about really the work that was done, the runs. You see that at the back, Mason Holgate at the back there, he is the one who the ball's aiming for, and the back three in line who are marking the Everton players, all dropping a line. You see there, Crystal Palace, which leaves the space for Keane, who just drops off, just holds his run, finds himself a little bit of space. You see, just stops his run there, got a couple of yards of space, but a really tight touch and an impromptu stab really at the ball. He doesn't have time to let it pop up, for it to drop down, really get under it, stabs away at it. But Tim, you called it. It was a one-off of the training field, absolutely.
On the training field, Mikalenko's ball has to be right, otherwise it ends. I think the timing of Holgate's run was perfect, and Keane used his brains. He stood still. He knew what he would do as a defender, and he would drop onto the 6-yard box. He knew if he stood still, it would give him that time, and his touch and finish exquisite.
Yeah, and that's what he gives you, though, isn't it, Michael Keane? If it's not aerial prowess, I don't think many people, would be expecting that kind of finish.
Well, he has finished a few, but normally in the wrong goal.
Yeah. Yeah. But what a way to get it in the right goal.
Oh, perfect. I mean, yeah. And the timing of it, absolutely. But he does offer that, absolutely. Every time they go up, it's something for defenders to consider. We
spoke about Richarlison's value to the team, particularly with Dominic Calvert-Lewin in and out of the side all season long. And he didn't let his side down again this time as well. It was a rather fortuitous finish because... Was there a slight deflection that managed to get it over?
Definitely a deflection, but when Frank made his changes, he brought on Dele Alli, took off Gomez. Gomez was featureless, really, in the first half. See now, Dele Alli's into the box, 4 attacking players. Didn't have that at all in the first half for Everton. So, yeah, bit bit fortuitous at the back post, brings it down, bit of a fluff across, ends at Richarlison, who they do get a deflection, but the way that Everton started that second half, you fancied Everton to at least get a goal back.
That for me is not a chance. If you look at Richarlison, if we've done a compilation of his goals, that's what he's all about.
Yeah.
He's a scruffy finisher. That's what he does. He had no right to score from there. He knows if he gets a shot on target, he buys a ticket, there's every chance you can win. And exactly what happened. Hits Conor Gallagher, gives the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. He is a scruffy finisher. He's a fox in the box. He's a nuisance for any opposition he plays against.
Yeah. 85th minute, time for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to get the winner. And it was a sensational goal to win.
Wow, well, if there's highlights of the season, I think it'll just be this one goal of the season for Everton. But it's a beauty. Demarai Gray, bit of whip on it into that second 6-yard box that is the prized spot for any attacking ball, and the run that Calvert-Lewin makes and the diving header is just a thing of beauty.
Dele Alli does brilliantly. He stands in an offside position and he has no intention to run towards a goal. His sole object is to block off the defender. He does partially. It's just enough. It gives him half a yard then, Calvert-Lewin, to diving header. Now, we've seen Andy Gray do that time and time again, if anyone is old enough to remember last night. That is where he made his trademark. Yeah. Diving headers like that. He would have been proud of that one tonight from Dominic.
I'm not as young as you think, Tim. Let's hear from a couple of Everton's goal scorers, shall we? Michael Keane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Say is wow, that must be an incredible feeling, and of course for you to get that goal, what was going through your head?
Unbelievably special. The amount of pressure that was on us, going 2-0 down and then to get 2-2, and I just felt that, when you just have a feeling that you're going to nick another one, and just make sure I was in the right area, and just an incredible experience.
How difficult was the game in the whole? Because you obviously went down 2-0, but to be able to come back, that fighting spirit was incredible.
I think the first half was tough. I think they were getting away from our press quite well, and they scored 2 goals that were avoidable on our part, but we spoke at half time about keeping belief and getting that next goal, and luckily we did that quickly, and the fans got right behind us, and that makes a huge difference here. And then obviously Richie scored, and I always felt we'd get one more chance, and luckily Dom's took it.
Did you feel as well when you got that first goal that this is where you're going to start getting these goals back now? Yeah,
well, it's what had to happen. We had to get a goal early to give ourselves a chance. Obviously we had to keep plugging away. It wasn't going to come easy because they're a good team, Palace, but we knew if we got one, the fans would make a difference. We put them under pressure, and luckily when our chances came, we took them.
Can you quite believe it?
No. What a roller coaster football is sometimes, It's why we love the game. It's why the fans love the game. In an ideal situation, we wouldn't have been in the position we were. But then it produces moments like that, and you can go from low to high so quick. I don't think I'll sleep tonight, or maybe I will. I'm not sure. But words can't describe that feeling scoring that goal.
Does it feel like a huge weight has been lifted now?
Absolutely, it's the biggest weight in the world, I think.
It's relief. It's been a hard season, long season for everyone. The pressure, feeling the pressure on where we are on the table, and we know we shouldn't have been there. But to finish like we have in the last 6 weeks, I think the lads deserve massive credit. The fans deserve massive credit, and the manager and the staff. It's been incredible.
Now, just a word on the fans, because I know the way that they welcomed you to this game today, the way they have been doing for the past few weeks, has been incredible.
It's been unbelievable. The way that they've been supporting us, welcoming us into the ground. It's blue flares everywhere, and it's been an unbelievable experience. And I think they've made the difference at the end of the day. You look at the way we played. We were unlucky last game. No one wants to hear about that now, but this game, when we got the first goal back, they made the difference for me. And on a personal note, I know some fans have questioned my commitment to the club, and whilst I always give 100%, and I hope that my goal today shows that and the way that I worked in the game. So I'm just pleased to kind of made the difference in the end.
Do you think the fight back in that second half just proves how much every single player wanted to keep this fight going in the Premier League?
Yeah, I think throughout the season people have questioned our mentality, how much we care, and that hurt us. We care. You never know how much we care. We care about this club more than anything in the world, and we know we've let the fans down a lot of times this season. But to win like that tonight, I think you can see what it means to all the players, as well as obviously the fans, but the players as well. It's huge. We did not want to take this club down, and it's massive relief that we've managed to save ourselves.
Big relief.
What's the plan now?
Just gonna go and have an ice bath full body.
We'll see. I don't know.
Well, enjoy it, guys. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But they're both smiling in the end. In fact, at points of that interview, Michael Keane sounded like he was getting quite emotional.
Yeah, he absolutely did. I felt that he's sort of how his face was moving. You could almost see that it was kind of brimming over, really.
Yeah.
Obviously joy and then a little bit almost tearful. But he said, you know, it means everything to this club and it means everything to them. And it is relief. They mentioned that word, and it is more than anything, it's relief, because they knew they shouldn't have been in this position. But going into it, they've got tonight done. And they can not sign off because they've still got another game, but the job's done, and that is a massive relief. And hopefully, come Sunday, they'll be able to enjoy themselves.
That's the point here, isn't it? How the narrative has changed, Tim. We were talking before the game, should they not get anything from today, having to go away to Arsenal to try and pull something out of the bag, Arsenal going in the race for the top four. Now it's, for them, a dead rubber as far as Everton are concerned.
Yeah, all different. And I give them a load of credit for that second half performance. Showed a lot of character. When you're 2-0 down at home, you saw the atmosphere before the game. There's a lot of expectation. They've come to watch you put it to bed, to stay in the Premier League. You're 2-0 down at half time and they have to turn their performance around. They've done that. But I can understand why he's emotional. Because he's part of the reason why they're in this position in the first place. And they've got away with it tonight. They've got the job done. They're heroes tonight, but they've been zeros all season. They need to improve. They need to get better than that. Hopefully, the manager's seen enough out of them two and the rest of the squad of players so they can stay at this great club. Because this is a great club which should never be in this position. 2 games to go, just getting safety now, not good enough. Not good enough. When the dust is settled, they will realise that. The manager would tell them that. Frank can't be happy, he'd be delighted tonight, obviously. Euphoric. The fact that the relief, I've been there myself, you realise I was at a big club like Aston Villa. You should never be in a position like that at the bottom of the league, but you are for a reason, because you're not good enough and you have to improve. So next year he has to improve on that, certainly. That is a minimum requirement. They should never be at the bottom of the league, and that's where they are.